Hi, I'm Nivedita Nanjappa and I'm a talent consultant at the Gap practice in Zinnov. Contrary to popular belief, the participation of women in workforce continues to be a major pain point, especially in Indian global centers of excellence. The gender diversity in these centers stands at 25% as compared to the 30% of the overall industry, which includes other Indian multinationals as well as service providers. The gender equation is skewed towards the non-technical functions as well as roles, where we see a 31% of gender diversity as compared to the 26% on the technical side of things. This number is hugely impacted by the fact that for every 2 girls who enroll, there are 5 boys enrolling for every technical professional course in the country. Even though fewer women transition from campus to corporate, at a 38% gender diversity, we still see a better representation of women in the lower rungs of the organizational hierarchy. The real concern today is the speed at which women are leaving organizations. 5 to 10 years into the workforce, women, for multiple reasons, tend to start putting their career on the back burner. This is evident from the 20% diversity that we see in the mid-levels of the organizations. There are multiple challenges here. Some of them are intrinsic, they are perception-led, as well as have a multitude of cultural nuances that impact it. As some of these women continue in the workforce and others bounce back from career breaks, their journey to the top level is still a tough one. Most of these women feel undervalued and hesitate in asking for mentorship as well as assistance at workplace. With nearly 11% gender diversity in the top levels, the lack of a role model also impacts this hugely. At this juncture, it is not sufficient for organizations to address this issue with ad hoc programs. Their approach needs to be definitive and structured in order to ensure that all their efforts are effective. It's a widely acknowledged fact today that diversity at workforce has a direct impact on the bottom line of the organization. This has elevated inclusion and diversity as an organization-wide agenda with high leadership involvement. To address the retention, organizations are adopting best-in-class benefits to ensure that their women employees are engaged and retained. Most organizations start their journeys by creating employee resource groups or affinity groups that help women employees network and gain access to mentorship as well as capability building opportunities. In order to advance gender parities, concerted efforts are being made in order to better the policies and practices and eliminate bias from organizational processes. Flexible work hours to ensure work-life balance, extended maternity benefits, providing both the employee as well as the managers a transition plan post-maternity leave, having an inclusive infrastructure at workplace, learning interventions that actually help a women employee to advance in her professional career are just a few of the benefits that are being provided today. However, the systematic unconscious bias remains deep-rooted in everyday conversations with peers and managers. This in its core is one of the major challenges faced by women and other folks from minority communities at a workplace. Sensitizing peers, managers, especially men, of microaggressions and inequities helps them understand a woman's perspective. Involving men and managers earlier on in the inclusion conversation will help percolate the message down to every sub-function within the organization.